In 1943, as the world was engulfed in the chaos of war, the United States Navy sought new ways to gain an edge. Whispers began to spread about a top-secret project, one that defied the boundaries of science and reality. At the center of this mystery was the USS Eldridge, a state-of-the-art naval destroyer docked in Philadelphia. The project, known by some as the Philadelphia Experiment, claimed to achieve the impossible, rendering a warship invisible to enemy radar. But what began as an experiment in stealth allegedly led to something far more extraordinary and terrifying. Reports surfaced of the ship disappearing entirely, only to reappear miles away. Witnesses spoke of disoriented crew members, horrific injuries, and sailors fused into the very steel of the ship. Despite official denials, the story of the Philadelphia Experiment has persisted, captivating imaginations and sparking debate for decades. Was it a groundbreaking military breakthrough, a tragic failure, or simply a fabrication born of wartime paranoia? The truth lies buried in a fog of secrecy, where science and myth collide. This is the story of the Philadelphia Experiment. In 1943, the world stood at the height of World War II, a time of unparalleled innovation and urgency. The Allied forces faced relentless threats from Axis powers, driving an intense race for technological superiority. Radar, sonar, and other advancements in stealth and detection became critical to survival on the battlefield. Amid this pressure, the United States Navy embarked on a secretive initiative, allegedly codenamed Project Rainbow. The goal: to render ships invisible to radar detection using cutting-edge theories in electromagnetism. And so, under a veil of secrecy, Project Rainbow would become one of the most controversial and enigmatic undertakings of its time. On October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge was outfitted with experimental technology designed to test the limits of radar invisibility. The crew, unaware of the full scope of the project, prepared for what would become one of history's most controversial and mysterious experiments. As the experiment commenced, the USS Eldridge was reportedly enveloped by an electromagnetic field. Witnesses claimed the ship began to shimmer, flicker, and ultimately vanish into thin air, leaving behind only a glowing void. When the USS Eldridge reappeared, the scene was one of terror. Accounts described sailors screaming in pain, some driven insane, and others fused into the very steel of the ship. The experiment had seemingly gone horribly wrong. Testimonies from dock workers described an unexplainable phenomenon. One claimed the ship disappeared entirely, while another insisted it had been seen hundreds of miles away in Norfolk, Virginia, before returning to the dock. In the years following the alleged experiment, the United States Navy firmly denied the existence of Project Rainbow or any experiments involving invisibility or teleportation. Officials described the story as a fabrication, unsupported by evidence. Was such technology even possible in 1943? Experts agree that while advancements in radar and electromagnetic fields were underway, the idea of rendering an object invisible or teleporting it was far beyond the scientific capabilities of the time. Declassified naval documents reveal the USS Eldridge's actual movements during the supposed experiment. According to these records, the ship was docked in New York Harbor on October 28, 1943, directly contradicting the timeline of the alleged event. Experts have consistently dismissed the Philadelphia Experiment as implausible. Historians point to the lack of credible evidence, while physicists highlight the scientific impossibility of such an experiment in the 1940s. Despite the Navy's denials and extensive evidence debunking the claims, The Philadelphia experiment remains a powerful and enduring legend. But what keeps this story alive in the public imagination? Central to the myth of the Philadelphia experiment is the unified field theory, a concept that sought to unify the forces of electromagnetism and gravity. Proposed by Albert Einstein, the theory was incomplete during his lifetime, but its tantalizing possibilities inspired both scientific and speculative thought. The experiment was said to involve manipulating electromagnetic fields to make the USS Eldridge invisible to radar. During World War II, radar cloaking was a major focus of military research, leading to advancements in detection and countermeasures. But was it possible to achieve true invisibility through these methods? Modern scientists explain that while electromagnetic fields can affect radar and communication, creating invisibility or teleportation requires manipulating space and energy on a scale far beyond current technology. Teleportation as a scientific concept exists only in the quantum realm. Experiments have demonstrated the ability to teleport quantum particles, but scaling this to larger objects, or ships, is a challenge that remains firmly in the realm of science fiction. The story of the Philadelphia experiment found its first champions in Carlos Miguel Allende and author Morris Jessup. Allende's cryptic letters described a secret Navy experiment gone awry, while Jessup's writings on UFOs lent credibility to the tale. Together, they planted the seeds of a conspiracy that would grow for decades. The post-war era saw a surge in UFO sightings and a growing fascination with extraterrestrial life. The Philadelphia experiment, with its themes of advanced technology and government secrecy, became entangled in the UFO mania, reinforcing its place in the public imagination. In the 1980s, the story of the Philadelphia experiment exploded into mainstream pop culture with the release of a Hollywood movie bearing its name. Books, TV shows, and films built on the legend, blending fiction and conspiracy into an enduring narrative. The Philadelphia experiment thrives in a culture fascinated by secrecy and the unknown. As government transparency remains elusive, stories like these fill the void, providing both an explanation and an escape from reality. Does the truth matter more than the story? Or is the enduring fascination with the Philadelphia experiment a reflection of our own desire to find meaning in the unexplained? Perhaps it's not about what happened, but about the questions that keep us searching. The Philadelphia experiment remains a story suspended between reality and myth, a symbol of humanity's endless curiosity. In the end, it's not just about what we can prove, but about the mysteries that challenge us to imagine more.